Dyer's ban. Ten seconds to pick. Radiant team are now picking.
Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and welcome to this, the Giant Bomb Community Dota Tournament 2014. And this presentation is a match between Freakinchair's Fraud Squad, which are also known as GAF, and their opponents xXx69DiCkBuTtZgoku420xXx, and fortunately they're also known as YOLO, and I think I shall be referring to the teams as YOLO and GAF from now on. So this is the 38th game played in our round-robin series of, I think there's 136 games and 17 teams all at it playing each other.
5 seconds remain.
And what can I say about this game? Well, YOLO won the toss and they asked to go on the Dire side, which gave GAF the first pick. Now, within the tournament, YOLO have a record of 2 wins to 1 loss so far, and GAF, who seem to be the tournament favourites and indeed won the community tournament last year, are currently 6-0 up in matches and are second in the tournament standing so far, but that's really only because they haven't played as many games as Pottoms Up, the top team, and I believe Pottoms Up have lost a match or two, whereas GAF have an unblemished record in this tournament so far. So I'm sure we're going to see some very high-level Dota play today, and I just only hope that I can keep up with it. Just looking at some picks and bans in this picking stage of the game. We can see that Faceless Void and Lycan have been banned out. Typical bans, really. These heroes are very strong within the current way the game's played. Faceless Void has quite a devastating chronosphere, and Lycan is quite a nasty high damage pusher, and Razor and Tide Hunter are also banned. Those are GAF's choice of heroes not to play with or against in this match, and Razor's a very popular pick nowadays, almost always picked or banned, and actually has been quite a feature of the games that have been played so far in this tournament. Razor has quite a devastating early and middle game presence and can sap the damage out of an opponent with his static link and deliver quite a lot of punishment. Tide Hunter banned, quite possibly because he's very hard to kill, and he can work out very well in the offlane, especially in the Dire offlane, where he's near to those ancients that he can farm up, given a couple of levels in his Kraken Shell and Anchor Smash, and he also has a very devastating team fight ultimate. Luna's just being banned there as well by GAF.
10 seconds to pick.
But what have the teams picked? Well, GAF have picked Dazzle and Juggernaut as their first couple of picks, whereas YOLO have opted for Treant Protector and Witch Doctor. So there's not really that much given away, but all of these 4 heroes are health providers. They all have sources of giving health to themselves and their teammates within some of their abilities, so they all share that in common. So maybe we
Only
might not
10
see
seconds.
as much death at this tournament, this matchup, as we
5
might have otherwise have done.
remain.
These heroes are going to be healing themselves and everyone else up.
Reserve time.
Darkseer banned there for Gaff, and Bristleback was YOLO's choice for a ban at this stage. YOLO eating into a little bit of reserve time here, considering their 4th ban. So it's the Ancient Apparition that gets banned, and now YOLO deciding on their 3rd pick for this match. The 2 characters they've already selected are typically support heroes, so they may well be looking for some of their cores now.
10 seconds to pick. 5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
Centaur War Runner.
And certainly they picked a very strong hero there in Centaur War Runner with his double edge ability and his hoof stomp, and then he has a rather nice Stampede ultimate ability, which not only is able to give all of his teammates an additional speed boost to either charge into battle, and it's equally handy for getting out of trouble as well, so they can quickly all escape from some sort of impending gank, or one or 2 of the heroes can certainly get out of trouble if Centaur is able to use that ultimate ability
Reserve time.
in the right way. Gaff eating into their reserve time now. They only have 30 odd seconds of it remaining. And the heroes that they've picked, Dazzle's a fairly obvious support role player, and Juggernaut, although Juggernaut can be used as a support, he's more often played as a core hero, as a team carry, with his Omni Slash ability and his Blade Fury. He can do quite a lot of damage throughout the game, so he's not that weak early on. And of course his Blade Fury, his spinning attack, can also make him evade magical damage and enable him in some circumstances to TP out of trouble. If he
10 seconds to pick.
If he's getting attacks, he will be immune to magical damage whilst his TP carries on. Jakiro picked as a
reserve time.
As a 3rd option for Freakinchair's Fraud Squad, and Jakiro with his Ice Path, quite a low duration stun, but very handy nonetheless. It's a damaging stun, lasts between 1 and 2.2 seconds, and Liquid Fire, which is quite a good pushing spell, especially against towers. Jakiro's seen quite a lot more play in the recent period of Dota, and that may well be thanks to him being buffed in the patch, and I think being given an ability to carry an Aghanim Scepter and it enhancing his ultimate ability. Oh, Warlock picked there for Team YOLO. Chaotic offering his golems, really powerful.
Only 10 seconds.
And an upheaval, a sort of a huge area
5
slow.
seconds. Hurry, hurry. Radiance ban.
Another healing
Dire's
spell
turn to
picks
make
out there
all
for the
wrong
Dire team.
choices.
And Gaff picks Slark.
Radiant team pick.
Particularly slippery hero, quite evasive and has some escapes, and also has this this pounce ability to be quite effective as a ganking hero. And YOLO pick Undying, who's a very powerful early game
10
hero,
seconds to pick.
and should be quite
5
fun to see
seconds
what happens with Undying in the laning stage.
Pudge.
Pudge picked for Team Gaff. Now I don't know if this is a usual pick for Gaff, but it's great to see it in the game. I haven't seen Pudge in a tournament game in so long, and so that's going to be real fun to see Pudge being played. I assume Pudge is going to go mid, and got no real idea how the Team YOLO are going to utilise their heroes, how they're going to
We're
lane them.
nearly at the part where everything dies over and over.
But we shall find out shortly. So introducing Team YOLO, we have Six Ghost on Undying, Nemesis Q on Centaur Warrunner, and we have M Sky on the Witch Doctor, Steve Winwood's on Warlock, and Madhu is on the Treant Protector. And it's like Witch Doctor's going off to war. There's 3 going down on mid on the dire side. Could this be one of the trademark
30
Roshan
seconds to
attempts that
video
I've heard
30 seconds.
Gaff often try in their games? Perhaps not. Jakiro's played by Ellen Pudge, and drops a nice observer ward there. Maria is playing Slark. Freakinchair is playing
It's
on
time
Dazzle,
for Fantasy World
and
avatars to
555
pretend to
Pro
murder
Carbine
one another.
on the Juggernaut, while Pudge takes mid lane, played by Officer Bobby Niggs Jr. I think he'll be facing up against the Warlock, whereas we look like we're going to see a tri-lane on the dire bottom lane with the Treant, the Witch Doctor and Undying, whereas Ellen Pudge is got a double damage rune, hiding in the trees. Witch Doctor fires off a cast, delays slightly, Treant Protector's coming around to back him up. And Jakira goes back to hide in the trees. Double damage ward, double damage rune, sorry, has worn off, but Liquid Fire is cast. Undying throwing down his decays. Oh, just Ellen Pudge having a wrap round from Team YOLO. The Treant Protector getting behind Ellen Pudge, kind of trapped in place. And a paralysing cast to kind of lock her in, but Slark pounces. One Undying there. Undying took that first kill in the bonus first kill gold. Meanwhile, in the Radiant side, the dire top lane. It's the Radiant top lane too, of course.
Invisibility.
We see the Centaur battling against 2 heroes. I just missed a I've just missed my first Pudge kill. But it seems that Pudge got Warlock there in the middle lane at this early stage. Pudge now with the bottle.
Didn't want to waste it.
Warlock trying to drain the health of Pudge there with his Shadow Word spell. And a little mini Pudge courier there. Now we have various heroes very low. There's quite a lot of action going on. Difficult to focus on any one thing in particular, especially because of my newness at casting. So apologies if you're expecting something a little bit more professional. Another pounce from Slark, Jakiro with his fire, is that fire and ice spell? Undying taken down very low, and Treant Protector is also in a little bit of trouble. Slark pursuing. But he's gone back behind his safety of his tower. Pudge there looks like he's just bottled a double damage rune. Warlock casting, I think, Fatal Bonds. Pudge has activated his double damage rune. Chasing, throws a hook out. Doesn't quite catch this time. Double damage still active. Another hook attempt. Warlock getting a little bit of harassment damage there in return on Pudge. Pudge quite low down, only got one charge in his bottle. And we have a Pudge pause. There's a poet on the one of the teams there. Treant Protector getting punished a little bit as the Dire team try and muscle in on Slark, and the Golem's been cast. Slark evades this time.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
In fact, Slark had practically single figure health there on his escape.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Now we have an invisible Pudge coming in. Could this spell trouble for someone? Well, maybe whilst we've still got a Golem. And Pudge goes in for the attack, and he gets it. Undying's died. And Slark
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
still on the attack. Witch Doctor healing up. And Warlock just warding back that Slark attack. I really need to bring up the last hits and denies. Sorry for not presenting that information. We can see that Jug has been quietly farming away and seems to be leading that that particular race. For the Radiant team, but there's still a lot of action coming on the Radiant bottom lane. And Slark looks like he's in trouble. He's been followed by Undying. And Witch Doctor gets the final hit on that Slark. Pudge is coming in. It looks like he may have been spotted there by the Radiant Observer. There's a couple of pings coming out there from the... Sorry, the Dire Observer. There's a couple of pings coming out there from the Dire team. Maybe they were wanting to get back to avoid some incoming Pudge gank. But the hook goes out. And Undying gets decimated by that hook. Centaur picks up the Illusion Rune. Now there's 3 Centaurs coming up top. Freakinchair on the Dazzle is a little bit low on health. I mean, he can do something about that though. There is a Radiant Ward here. So this team should know what's occurring up in the top lane. Pudge level 8. Just want to check out some of these hero levels. Pudge is the top leveling hero so far.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
But it looks like we're having some simultaneous attacks on the Dire bottom tower and the Radiant top tower. So we have a double edge there from Centaur Warrunner.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
And I'm not sure, I just went back to the desktop. I'm trying out a bit of delay software on my data, and once in a blue moon it does that. But we had the Radiant top tower being attacked here by the Dire team. So I might have missed out on a couple of kills because I went back to my desktop stream. Pudge has just hooked in Centaur Warrunner, but he's stomped to evade that. Jakiro throws down a nice path. And Pudge can't take the incoming damage from the Dire team. Well, this is absolutely crazy. We have Undying and Witch Doctor dead on the Dire side, and on the Radiant Gaff side we have Pudge and Dazzle die. And the scores at the moment are 8-all at this stage. The Radiant top tower's gone. And do we still have a little bit of a fight on here between Slark and Treant Protector? So is that tower healing up? No, I'm not sure that looked like a cast animation, but I didn't see the cast graphic getting laid on that tower, so I'm not sure whether that was just a cancelled cast. Slark evading Treant Protector, who's a hero. 350 movement speed. Slark has 355. Okay, so he can be a little bit more evasive perhaps. Meanwhile we've got an attack on the top tower with Jakiro and his liquid fire. Doing a little bit of damage over time there to that tower. Jakiro's fully skilled this liquid fire skill.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Meanwhile we have a An invisible Dazzle, who's pinged out Undying. The Radiant team onslaught onto Undying, and Jug spins. Undying tries to get away. The tombstone's been dropped.
Dominating. Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
Jug goes down. The Dire team come to defend, and Witch Doctor puts his ward down. Pudge kills himself though. The suicide denies Dire any gold. Complaint made about some lag. And it looks like Dire coming down the Radiant top lane, and looks like their objective is going to be this T2 tower, but Jug's just TP'd in to see if he can defend. And Dire move back to their jungle. I think Pudge just killed one of those golems with his ultimate, as the Radiant team seem to follow Dire into the jungle. Oh, they caught out a Slark in the jungle. I didn't quite catch all of that. Slark might have been a little bit out of position, but the Dire team took advantage of that. I was hoping that when we get a quiet minute I'd bring up the XP and gold graphs, and they might tell us something about the way the game's going overall. And XP earned is 2,000 to Gaff, and the gold earned is 1,000 to Gaff, despite the difference in kills and deaths. Now, is that because Gaff have Midases? Well, yes it is. That's certainly helping those figures, which don't always tell the true story of
Dire's structures are fortified.
what's happening in a match. Meanwhile, I think I'm missing out on something in the bottom lane, where the Dire team just activated the glyph. The Treant Protector managed to get in and deny that tower.
Bastards. Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Meanwhile, Jug and Dazzle are trying to do the same thing on the
Dire's top tower is under
T1 top tower. And Dazzle useful there in healing up the creeps
Dire's top tower is being
whilst they're attacking the tower, and it goes down.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So maybe there's a bit of a counter push coming towards the Radiant bottom T1 tower,
Dire's middle tower is
already at half health,
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
and we have 3 heroes attacking the tower, and one of them standing in the back
Is now
in case of
Dire's
ganks.
middle tower is being attacked.
Radiant glyph's been activated, and whilst that's been going on though, the Dire mid T1's been knocked down, and
Demolished.
Radiant are carrying on their assaults of the T2 at the mid lane. And with this liquid fire, the tower is losing health rapidly.
Dire's middle tower taking
Now, are Dire doing anything to defend this? Or are they pushing onto the Radiant bottom tier 2 tower to
tower is now
make it more difficult for Radiant to get into their jungle?
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Well, that is exactly what they're doing, but in the meantime, Gaff are going straight for the tier 3
Radiant's bottom tower
and exposing Dire's barracks, but Witch Doctor is back, and I think we're getting some more TPs back from the Dire team to defend against this, but the
under fire.
liquid fire is doing such heavy damage to the Dire tower. It's down now to maybe about 10% of its full health, but the golems have been activated, and A Warlock Slow came out, but it looks like that has been disrupted. And we have Witch Doctor, Ultimate Killing Pudge, and Jakiro going down in that fight as well. I think the reason the Warlock Slow was stopped was because Warlock ended up dying in that assault. There is so much going on with these team fights. I need a few extra pairs of eyes. Slark very near death, but he gets shallow grave there by Dazzle, and he manages to leap away. But to no avail because of the decay from Undying. $14.10. We're still hovering around the same XP. There's a 5,000 gold advantage to Gaff. Not huge by any stretch. And I think the game itself is still pretty open. Gaff do have the tower advantage. I think they have 4 guard towers. The guard taking 3, but we have Jakiro coming in with a stun and Undying, trying to get something off, and he puts down his tombstone, but he goes down. And Jakiro takes the credit for that one. Jakiro 3 and 3, Pudge 3 and 4. So this is some tough fighting. This is fighting, but with penalties. These people are dying as much as they're killing. In this game, it does look quite even. There's a Centaur Wall Runner 2 and 2, but we do see that Gaff have a bit of an advantage in terms of this tower. Well, which was very low. Great thing having Treant Protector on your team because you can just do that to your towers and heal them all up. But YOLO are bringing all 5 of their heroes back to defend this mid tower against what they see as a push from Gaff coming up the mid lane. Maybe Gaff think this might be a great time to go for a Rosh attempt. We don't really see too much in the way of dire warding to spot anything like that happening. But Team YOLO go for a bit of a smoke here, past the secret shop. Now is this for an attempt on Roche, or is this for... Is this for a bit of a gank on Juggernaut? And it certainly was. I think his spinning attack didn't do anything to stop the physical damage that was getting meted out to him there. And Juggernaut bites back. Ellen Pudge getting caught out. There's 4 dire team. A double edge. Brings Jakiro low down on health, and Undying gets the kill on that one. 11-16. The team fight is strong within these teams. Now the 2 groups of heroes are gathering fairly close together in the mid lane. And I think the next team fight is going to be here. Pudge is waiting by the action. He's got his hook off. And he's got Undying. And there was a Warlock slow, but in general they Team YOLO decide to retreat whilst Undying was down. And maybe this is the opportunity now for Gaff to go in and face off against Roshan. Now, is Dazzle going to bring out his minus armor spell to decrease Roshan's mana and increase the amount of time it takes to kill him? Jug healing ward. offsetting any damage Roche does against these enemy heroes, but you see Team YOLO are very close to the Roche pit. And they're coming in. There's an ice path being set down, and it looks like that minus arm was saved for this team fight that is up and coming. And we can see that Witch Doctor's gone down, and Centaur War Runner's gone very, very low. He's down. Pudge is down. And Jakiro went down, but Centaur went down.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
And is that the Slark that was killed, but it's not enough. He's now back from the dead, and he wants his revenge. But what a time for a
Radiant's bottom tower
double
under
golem
fire.
to come out from an Aghanim Scepter Warlock to finish him off. Maybe that was a little bit too greedy
Under siege.
going into Dire's base. And I just want to have a quick look at the XP, and we've got a very jagged line here, but the trend is generally to Gaff's advantage here, with a in excess of 5,000 XP lead and around a 7,500 gold lead to Gaff. So it's like they're gradually edging this. They're not winning every team fight, but they're suddenly pushing some towers and
Is being attacked.
attacking now Dire's base. The golems doing their work on the T1 tower before they expire. Pudge with a little tentative hook there on Centaur. Didn't quite come off, but all the hooks you don't throw, though, none of those will come off, and sometimes that you do throw might well come off, so it's always better to try it. Centaur War Runner comes up with his double-edging stomp, but Slot dodges out of that one. But we see a massive team fight here with Undying down and Witch Doctor down already, and now another double-edge coming out against Juggernaut, but it doesn't do the trick, and Centaur War Runner goes down, but Warlock goes down too, so there's 4 dead heroes on the side of Team YOLO, and there's a quick TP out there, I think, from Treant Protector. And I think that leaves Gaff free to throw a few more liquid fire blasts at this tower, but it's now fully back up to full health again.
Dire's middle tower taking damage. Dire
But almost straight away the protection that Treant Protector gives the tower is blasted away by the damage coming out from the Radiant. Another Pudge hook comes out. The Dire team are all back now, and they must defend this. Centaur blinks and he stomps, and he's attacking Jug, but then he looks like he tries to have a go. Jakiro went down in that somehow, but Jug survived. Is that a blade mail that Centaur's got? Oh, another double edge, which goes straight through
bottom tower is
Jug.
being attacked.
22-19 kills and deaths to YOLO's advantage. But I
Dire's
think
top
still
tower
Gaff
is
have
under
the
siege.
golden XP lead. And we have Slark running back down through the Dire
Radiant's
jungle.
middle tower is taking damage. Dire's bottom tower is
Avoids
being
Witch
attacked.
Doctor, picks up a double damage rune. And this T1 tower for the Radiant team finally coming down.
Middle tower has fallen.
So it looks like Radiant have now got just a 1 tower advantage.
Tower is taking damage.
And Team YOLO decide to disengage. Gaff pulls Slark back in towards him, and Slark was on a double damage rune, which could have hurt quite a lot. Now we see a minus armour coming out from Dazzle, and the macro pyre coming out from the Jakiro, which seems to get Undying and Witch Doctor, and I didn't notice there that Centaur War Runner was still kept in the back, and Warlock was finished off too. So I'm really missing out on some of these kills here. Sorry about that stream. And T3 finally goes down, and now they're attacking the base itself. Melee barracks going down very quickly.
Dunner's middle barracks has fallen.
And so that's one set of barracks completely destroyed there from Gaff. And I've just noticed that they've equalised the kills and deaths, and in fact they've gone slightly into the lead as far as the kills and deaths are concerned. Roshan still to respawn. Team YOLO 5-manning it down mid now. While Jug and Dazzle are pushing creeps down the top lane. You have a little bit of a split push coming out with Jakiro trying to push the creeps up to the last remaining T2 tower that YOLO have. There seems to be something brewing in the mid lane.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
With an invisible Warlock
Dire's
waiting
top
for some
tower
sort of
is
ganking
under siege.
opportunity. And some bait coming in, but Triumph's being pulled. And Warlock throws down his golems. And that gets rid of Pudge. The Triumph Protectors also died in that encounter.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
And they can't go for the base yet. We need to get this tower down, but in the meantime Slark's jumped in here and he's trying to
Dominant performance.
attack the Warlock as he tries to TP out, and he succeeds in bringing the Warlock down before the TP can complete. And they're kind of cutting through Team YOLO, Team Gaffar. And maybe that assault on the mid lane, maybe they overstayed their welcome a little bit at Team YOLO, but there's some good fights coming out from both sides. Gaff have the advantage now though. We're looking at XP, we're beyond 15,000 for XP and gold. And the Dire top T3 tower's gone down, and so is their ranged barracks. The melee barracks is not long for this world. And we can see a double edge coming out that's got rid of Slark. Jug spins out of danger. Juggernaut's just jumping through a whole load of heroes with his ultimate ability. Witch Doctor buys back. Centaur War Runner gets exploded. And Gaff are running all over YOLO's base, and YOLO say this is a good time to GG. And as far as I'm concerned, at least that's some particularly high level Dota. gone in that game, and well worth watching from my point of view. Quite difficult to follow all of the action. There was so much of it. But we don't have really clear advantages in terms of some kills. All the heroes have sort of died quite a bit and killed quite a bit, and so you know, that wasn't as uneven as perhaps it might have been had Gaff been playing maybe some of the lesser teams that have competing in this tournament. And I need to say that you can watch plenty more matches in the tournament. There's, I think, 98 left to play in this tournament, and there's 3 or 4 more games scheduled over this weekend for the various teams. And you can find more information in giantbomb.com or on the Giant Bomb Community Tournament challenge site. I've been Diz. Thanks for sitting with me through this game, and I hope to be casting again